Welcome to episode 307 of the Various and Sundry podcast. I'm your host, Matt Harmon, joined live from the Vault Studio on the beautiful campus of Grace College and Grace Theological Seminary by my good friend, my colleague, my co-host, and the man whose life is consumed with gas reduction, John Scott Sloat.
Yeah, specifically for my daughter.
Yeah.
My newborn daughter. Just for clarity out there for the masses.
Yeah. That's, man, that stage of life. What a stage of life where you sleep, you eat, and your bodily functions are encouraged.
Yeah. There's it's sort of at the bookends of life. Those two things are happening, right? There's the front end of life where you eat, sleep, and you go for the bodily functions, and then sort of at the end of life again.
Yeah,
people get excited about it when you're old.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that my wife's grandmother kept a very detailed journal of her bodily functions.
Yeah,
and that was.
Diapers make a comeback about that time,
Yes, indeed. Yes. So, how is little Mia doing?
Doing well, putting on weight, eating like a champ.
Another great thing about that stage of life, encouraged to gain weight.
Yeah, same thing when you're at the end of life as well. How long can we keep this shtick up?
I don't know.
But she's doing really well, sleeping well, eating well, has longer and longer, we're calling them wake windows. I don't know if everybody else refers to them that way, but
I don't know.
Longer and longer time she's awake, and they've been during the day, which is wonderful.
Yeah, flip that body clock.
Yeah, so it's been, wide-eyed, looking around,
Yeah.
You sing, she looks scared, it's been fun.
Yeah, I often find it fascinating to think, what is it like to be at that stage of life? Because obviously we don't remember each of us when we were at that, but like where you're just continually discovering new things about the world and about yourself. Like there's a fun stage where they finally realize like that their hands are like attached to their body, and then they can like control them and like do things with them, and they'll look at them like with almost with wonder, where it's like, wow, like wait, I'm actually moving those things and I can control them and manipulate them. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
So we are recording a little early this time.
Yeah. Why are we recording today? I'm trying to remember.
Because I'm going to be out of town. Normally, you're the one who's traveling. When this episode drops, I will be in Boston.
ETS?
Yes.
Evangelical Theological Society?
That's right.
How many papers are you presenting this year?
0.
Wow. So are you taking paid time off for this? Or is this a vacation for you?
No and no. I am still attending sessions and meeting with publishers and
doing the networking thing,
moving and shaking, and yeah. So, but this is the first time in like 5 years I haven't been doing a paper. So I feel like I'm probably due a conference where I don't do one.
Yeah. So ETS normally in the next convention center over, they do Society for Biblical Literature.
Well, right after it.
Same center?
This time, yes.
Okay.
So sometimes, yes. More and more so, it's been yes that they do them at the same site. It's just that SBL is much, much bigger.
Yeah, and broader.
Way broader.
So are you going to both?
No. Just
okay.
ETS.
Just ETS this year.
Yeah, I've traveled enough this session in particular. I was in Montana for a week. I was in Louisville basically for a week. I'll be in Boston for, by the time you include travel, 4 days. That's enough.
Did you do any sightseeing in Boston?
No.
Okay.
No. November's not the ideal time to go to Boston.
Well, that's why they can afford Boston for a convention, right?
I guess, but man, like last year, where were we last year? I think last year we were in San Diego, or maybe it was 2 years ago. Anyway, I prefer the San Diego, San Antonio sites.
Yeah.
Warmer, it's nice, but
I'm sure.
Anyway, well, if you would like to contact the show and provide John with some tips for some gas reduction, you can find us on X at VNSPod. You can email the show, variousandsunderpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube, and we would love for you to leave a 5-star rating on whatever platform you access the show. All right, John, let's talk some sports.
Let's do it.
And since we're recording early, that means we don't have the weekend of football to talk about. But we did have a football game last night as we're recording on a Friday, and so Thursday night football. And so I wanted to start by asking, how is Mia taking her first experience as a fan of the Jets and losing?
Yeah. So
is that what is causing the gas?
The lower intestinal distress.
Yeah.
I think so. It was a little bit of a rougher night.
Okay. Well,
she's not used to this kind of disappointment.
Yeah.
In her life. So yeah. It's been hard.
Okay. And what is your analysis of the Jets' performance last night?
So how much of the game did you watch?
I watched pretty much the whole thing up until they turned the ball over with like around the 2-minute mark in the red zone. Like if they had scored, they had a chance to do the onside kick or something. But they turned it over on downs.
So the opening drive to the game was very encouraging. We took the ball on an 8-minute drive, went all the way down the field and scored a touchdown.
Yeah, over half of the first quarter was them just working the ball methodically down the field.
And felt really good in that moment. It was then the Patriots got the ball and really moved the ball quite well. That offense is very, very good.
Yeah. Well, they finally decided to play their best running back significant minutes. And lo and behold, Travion Henderson scores 3 touchdowns for them.
Yeah,
after 2 of them after scoring 2 last week.
And he's a tremendous talent for sure. But I don't feel like he's the one that really broke our back necessarily. It was Drake May's passing.
Yeah,
a lot of third down conversions. A lot of I had not seen him play. But he is very, very good for 23 years old. Very, very good. At quarterback, and happened 5 or 6 times where I thought we were going to get a defensive end around the corner to hit him, and he steps up and throws on the run and hits a guy 15, 20, 25 yards downfield that's open, and he played really, really well.
Well, one of the things that the Jets clearly now struggle with, especially since they've traded Sauce Gardner, is those corners are struggling. They are giving up lots of catches, guys that are open in the secondary.
Yeah.
And I know they did that. They're building their stockpile of draft picks.
Oh yeah.
For the 2026 draft and then the 2027 draft. So I think they're clearly strategically doing that. It's sad for me to watch Justin Fields because he was so good in college, and he has the talent. I'm not going to totally blame this on other people but him. Like, he has to own up to this. But the Bears really messed him up.
It never felt like the Bears gave him many tools around him.
Correct.
So even something like, I think he had a pretty good wide receiver in Chicago, but the offensive line was just hot garbage in Chicago.
Yes. And they also ran an offense that was not best suited for his skill set either, that would allow him to kind of develop. And then they kind of overcoached him, I think, in terms of like they were so like, don't turn the ball over. And then So he stopped throwing with any anticipation.
Yeah.
And if you don't throw with anticipation in the NFL, you're not going to be a good quarterback. And I think they beat that into him. And even in Pittsburgh, he had more success because I think they tailored the offense to him when he ran it. He had it started the first 7 games,
6 or
something.
7 games, yeah.
And he was 5-2, and then they went to Russell Wilson,
and it didn't go as well.
Yeah, but I think if he could have stayed in an offense like he had in Pittsburgh and had good coaching, I think he could have developed into a solid NFL quarterback. I don't think he's getting what he needs in New York. He doesn't have the weapons around him now, especially with Garrett Wilson
being out.
The guy that he was targeting consistently, is it Mitchell? Was that?
Yeah. Former second-round pick of the Indianapolis Colts, former Georgia, and I think he transferred to Texas at one point. It was just a 4.3 speed.
Yeah,
but no thumbs.
Yeah. I mean, again,
just dropped so many balls.
Justin had some poor throws last night, but there were a couple where he threw it right to him. Yeah, and he just flat out dropped it.
Well, there was the one that was right over his shoulder. That was probably 30, 40 yards downfield.
Yeah,
and felt like, that was a hard catch, but a catchable ball.
Hard-ish. Maybe. it's right where he's supposed to throw
it's
it.
It's the only spot it could be.
Yeah.
And then there was another crossing route where it just at first I was like, did it get tipped? No, it just went right through his hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Now Justin missed some throws also too. So
sure.
I'm not trying to blame everybody else, but it's sad.
And I don't know why the Jets don't do this more, but the run options they run with Justin Fields worked very, very well, and that was a good chunk of that opening drive.
I think they're probably just a little scared to they're just going to get hurt.
Yeah.
It's at the NFL level. It's really tough to run your quarterback 15 times a game. Just the pounding and the speed and all that. You're inviting injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Let's talk a little bit about some Grace athletics.
Sure. What would you like to talk about?
Well,
you want to start with soccer?
Do you want to?
I mean, the girls won. Girls soccer won.
Yes, won the Crossroads League tournament championship
in penalty kicks.
In PKs, yes. And so that's the first time in program history that they've won the tournament championship.
Yep.
On that very same day, the men lost in double overtime.
Yep.
In the championship game of the Crossroads League tournament. Yep. Heartbreaking loss for them, but both of them will go on to play in the NAIA national tournament.
Both very talented teams.
Yeah. And the Grace men's basketball team, currently ranked number 4 in the country, started off 5-0. Good start. Lots of good.
Next game on Wednesday, I believe. Do they play this weekend?
No.
Okay, next game on Wednesday.
And they open conference play against the Taylor Trojans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then in a story that has literally made national headlines.
I think we could say international.
Has it made international?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
are you saying that just because it was in the New York Times and on ESPN SportsCenter?
It was the opening of SportsCenter.
It was the opening of SportsCenter.
So, I mean, that feels people overseas watch SportsCenter.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So the Grace women's basketball team set a women's collegiate record at any level of collegiate women's basketball. So NAIA, Division I, Division II, Division III, all of them. They set a women's collegiate record by scoring 172 points in a game.
It's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points in a 40-minute game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just over 4 points a minute. So you're making 2 baskets, the equivalent of essentially 2 baskets a minute. Now there's free throws in there, and the 3-point shot, messes with that a little bit.
I think we shot 40 free throws or something like that.
We were 40 of 44 from the free throw line. 40 of 44.
That's a good percentage. I like it.
That's outstanding. Yeah. So It did make national, international headlines. Like it was the opening lead for SportsCenter the next morning.
So one of my staff members was in Florida and flying home yesterday, and the lady or the dude, I don't know which, in the TSA line goes, "Weren't they on SportsCenter this? Had the Grace logo on their sweater or whatever. Yeah. They were on SportsCenter this morning, weren't they?"
Yeah.
Like, yep, they sure were.
That's wild. Yeah, that's not a common thing around here of Grace being on SportsCenter.
Yeah, I mean, and this was in Fort Myer, Florida.
Yeah.
Not Fort Wayne.
Exactly. Yeah, that's crazy. So, anything else from the world of sports?
NBA's in full swing.
Yeah.
Baseball off season is in full swing. Free agency is active and live right now.
Okay.
So we'll probably see a few signings before Christmas, but I think most of the signings happen January, February now.
All right. I'm going to ask, how do you typically watch your sports? Because I've been impacted by the YouTube TV Disney dispute. But that doesn't affect you.
Yeah, it does.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. So it affects me in that I use my dad's YouTube TV login, and so I guess I don't have ESPN
Correct.
right now.
Yeah,
I do have
or ABC.
Well, I do have a digital receiver,
okay.
So I get HD channels over the air waves.
Yeah.
So I do get ABC that way.
Yeah.
So that's one way I watch sports. The rest of it is just streaming. So baseball is the only one I pay for.
Mm-hmm.
But the NBA has been more on streaming this year, which is
Peacock.
Well, it's been on Peacock
and Prime.
And Prime.
Yeah.
And so that's been a lovely addition.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually bought a digital antenna.
Yeah.
Got it yesterday. Tried it out last night. I can get every
station but ABC.
Every station but ABC. Like, this is the whole reason I bought this. I don't need CBS. I don't need Fox. I don't need PBS. I don't need any of those. What I need is ABC. And that antenna, for whatever reason, apparently
you're not getting 21 Alive out of Fort Wayne?
Cannot pull the South Bend feed off ABC 57 or the Fort Wayne ones. I'm actually closer to South Bend.
South Bend, yeah.
On that side of town, I think, especially. So the one reason I bought the antenna, and it doesn't even pick it up. So
which reminds me, I need to log into YouTube TV because I have to be within the South Bend Elkhart district every 3 months logged in. Otherwise, so I'm going to do that right now while I'm thinking about it. The volume's off, so no worries.
There you go. So I hope they figure that out soon. I am not sure. I miss more of the ABC because that's where they put their big college football games on, And so this weekend I'm going to end up missing, Alabama, Oklahoma, which would be a good game, and Texas and Georgia. Though that's actually going at the same time as Ohio State, UCLA. So I'd probably just be kind of checking in on that as opposed to watching it. So in any case, all right. Time to move on to our main topic for the day in our wildly popular series, Know Your Heretics.
Is this popular?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying things.
Okay.
We are at part 6.
Yeah.
Pelagius.
Yeah. Pelagius.
Yeah. So now we're in the 4th and 5th century.
The late 300s, early 400s is sort of when Pelagius works his magic.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a listener question over email. I don't know the proper time to bring this up, but it feels like a question for you.
For me.
This is Jim in Indianapolis.
Okay.
He had a question about Arianism.
Okay.
So he said, you didn't mention it on pod, but would oneness Pentecostals and Jesus-only churches be Arians?
I think broadly, yes. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you lump those?
Yeah. I mean, I know there's a denial of the Trinity there, which I I suppose, is related to Arianism.
Yeah. Did we not? Maybe we mentioned Oneness Pentecostals in a previous episode. I feel
we've definitely talked about them.
Yeah.
But it feels like it was connected to the Trinity.
Maybe that was when we were talking about Montanus.
Montanus, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But yes, I would.
They would certainly be related to Arians.
Yeah.
Maybe not 100% the same, but certainly like kissing cousins.
They're in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the extended family reunion, they're there. Okay. They might be the people that you're like, now who are those people again? Like, oh, yeah. They're like second cousin once removed, kind of stuff. So, but always appreciate the listener.
Yeah, that's Jim in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
That was his question.
All right. Thanks for checking in.
Just proof of life that I'm checking the emails.
Proof of life. That's hilarious. Okay.
Pelagius.
Get us started with who he was.
Oh, my goodness. So Pelagius was a Catholic monk, which monks tend to be pretty serious dudes in general.
Yes.
One does not simply, dip in and out of monkery.
Of monkery?
That's an expression.
Is that an expression?
Yeah, I feel like that's a Luther expression.
Monkery?
Monkery, yeah.
All right, I got to look that up.
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing Luther said. I'm surprised. Maybe I'm making it up. But he would have been from Britain. Now, not really the Britain we know today.
Yeah.
Right? That's not an established country, but more of a province or the outskirts of the empire at this time. So that's sort of where he's from. Not getting a ton of resources from the empire, but that's where he's from. Catholicism had a toehold, I think maybe there is fair, probably mixed in with some paganism.
Okay.
And he found that the Catholics in his region were very morally laxed, which we've talked about this with some other heresies as well, right?
Yep.
And so this led to him creating this sort of doctrine to increase, I don't know the right term, devotion, to increase morals, to increase a holy living.
Yeah.
Perceived holy living, at least. And so this led him to what we've talked about with a couple of others, this sort of harsh, is it asceticism? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. That is a word.
First time for everything.
Yes.
Was monkery not a word?
It is. It is. I confirmed it, yes. So monkery is a word referring to a monastic life or practices, and they trace the word origins back. It's been in use in English since at least the 1530s.
Okay.
So yeah,
we're right in the. I mean, Luther spoke German, but we're sort of in the ballpark there.
Yeah. It's interesting. They have the little chart use over time. If you ever look up a word like on Google, it'll show you like a chart of like use over time. And there's the chart, like high usage, and then like almost very little.
Let's bring it back, people.
Yeah. So
work monkery into your life.
Yeah, from the 1800s. Apparently, it peaked here in what they can track around in the late 1840s.
Interesting.
And then it's just been on the steady decline since then, down to very little usage there. So,
yeah.
But your campaign to bring it back is underway.
Yeah, I love it.
Make monkery great again.
Yes.
Okay.
Make the use of monkery great again.
Okay, so Pelagius is like, y'all people are not taking holiness seriously.
Exactly.
You need to be serious about obeying God.
Yes, and so he built a teaching, built a doctrine around the ideas that human effort could save you.
Okay.
That built around that this sort of salvation comes through. Certainly, God's involved, but the majority of the work is on the person.
Yeah.
He would say things like, humans are basically born good and are corrupted.
Okay.
Sin is something that injured Adam and Eve, but
didn't fundamentally alter their nature.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not totally depraved, to use a word that comes up much later.
Yeah. Over 1,000 years later.
Yeah. But they're basically good. Even saying things like God does not grant salvation; humans grant it to themselves. Basically, sorts of stuff. And so that's sort of the gist of his teaching.
All right. So tell us how that begins to spread then in terms of his teaching, and then how the church responded, and then who were some of the leading figures responding to Pelagius.
Yeah, so he came to like all these false teachers, right?
All roads lead to Rome.
Yeah, he shows up in Rome, and apparently the Romans are just very persuadable when it comes to false teaching, and so he gets this massive following.
Okay,
gets this massive following, and in the wake of the fall of Rome, begins to move to different parts of the Roman Empire, or I guess the empire at this point since Rome has fallen.
Yep.
But makes his way to North Africa. And who does he run into but Augustine? And so Augustine just begins to lay down the written word smackdown. I mean, just letter after letter after letter, sermon after sermon after sermon, just sort of going after him, attacking him, and writes a ton on grace, sin, salvation. And think about what this does to a person like Augustine. I know this isn't a podcast about Augustine, but Augustine, the man who could not conquer his sin, right? This sexual temptation that sort of pervaded his entire life, was all around him all the time. And he could not get over it despite his desire to get over it.
Yes.
You have this Pelagius guy show up and say, actually, you could have done it.
Yeah, if you just tried harder.
If you just tried harder.
And used the right techniques, you can do this.
Yes. And that was anathema to Augustine. So he writes on grace, sin, salvation, which lays the groundwork for the Reformation. In a lot of ways, it's coming in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
A little over 1,000 years. So, when Martin Luther is at, oh my goodness, what town? I want to say Helsinki, but that's not it.
He was not.
Heidelberg. There we go.
Not in Helsinki.
Right? They sent the.
Though that's a very Lutheran place now.
It is. There's a statue of him there.
Yeah.
But Heidelberg. The Catholic Church asked the Augustinian monkery monks to kind of come in and tell Luther that he's wrong, because Luther was an Augustinian monk.
Yeah.
And so they bring him in. And what does Luther do in Heidelberg but just sort of argue from Augustine to Augustinian monks that he's right. And he's kind of hard to disagree with when you make those sorts of arguments.
Yeah.
So Pelagius in North Africa, dealing with Augustine. It's not that North Africa falls at that point, although it eventually does. But Pelagius just goes, I just can't take any more of Augustine. That's me reading into the situation without any actual historical know-how. But makes his way to Palestine.
Yeah.
Judea, Jerusalem area. Yep. And who is there to write against him?
Jerome.
Jerome is there to write against him.
That's right.
And so
you remember when we went to Bethlehem?
Yes.
And they in the underneath the Church of the Nativity.
Yeah.
They show you an area where they claim Jerome was at work on his Bible translation into Latin.
And potential refutation of Pelagius.
There you
potential.
Go. Yeah, sure.
So he writes against him. Eventually, as they often do, Augustine and Jerome win the day. The Catholic Church comes out, puts a council against him, as they do, and then he just sort of fades into history. Like the Catholic Church rules against him. I'm not Catholic. I don't know the right terms. They sort of put an edict out against him in 418, and we just really don't hear anything from him after that. And he's pretty old at that point.
Yeah.
So So that's Pelagius, and of course his ideas never died fully, right? I mean,
right.
They continued on. I mean, there's a famous movement of semi-Pelagianism that comes along, a century later? A couple centuries later?
That
sounds
right.
Right. Yeah. And then you can see some of these movements even today.
Sure. Yeah, it feels like this is one of those heresies that taps into something that is fundamental to fallen human nature in this idea of we can fix ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We can change ourselves sufficiently in order to be in a right relationship with God. And when you consider that sort of fundamental idea, then you see it popping up all throughout human history.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it takes on more specific forms where it kind of coalesces into an actual movement or around a specific teacher. But I think, it's understandable how Augustine's writings against Pelagius became important in the Reformation period as the reformers were trying to distinguish justification by grace through faith from the Catholic teaching of the day that placed a significant emphasis on your works.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that they would go back to Augustine and be like, guys. Augustine talked about this 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, the buying of indulgences were a big part of that as well.
Yeah. But I think what might be helpful to wrap our discussion up on this is, how do you see this showing up in the contemporary church? And I'm not talking specifically necessarily about who's a false teacher, who's Pelagian or something like that. But what elements do you see in the contemporary church that you could identify and say that's a very Pelagian sort of trend or mindset or something like that?
Yeah, this is hard, and I'd love to actually get your insight on this, because when I'm reading this, I'm going, this sounds pretty Wesleyan.
Well,
I know it's different.
Yeah.
But it my goodness, I remember being in a conference where a Wesleyan guy got up and goes, man, I was born Wesleyan. It's in my blood. It's in my bones that I was born into Wesleyanism, and I was destined to be that. Mm-hmm. And I just remember sitting in the back going, think through your theology a little bit more. You don't actually believe that, right? You believe you have some pretty intense free will.
Right.
Something that Pelagius wrote about.
Right.
So how do you make those distinctions?
Yeah, I would not characterize Wesleyanism as Pelagian, because there's a different framework there. Meaning, if we're talking about the sort of form of Wesleyanism that kind of has the perfectionist strain, they still will distinguish between levels of sin even within that, to say, well, you're saved by grace, but through your ongoing growth in obedience, you can reach a stage of some form of what they refer to as perfection. Without, now they would still bracket off some things in there that would distinguish it from, what will be like in the new creation kind of thing.
Sure.
But I guess where I see perhaps the connection point is the effort on the focus on self-improvement through ascetic or sort of holiness practices. But even then, I think most Wesleyans would say, well, that's empowered by the Spirit. So it's not like...
Yeah, and I guess that's the difference between them and a Pelagian, right? Is Pelagian's like, hey, we can actually save ourselves.
Yes.
And as far as I know, Pelagius doesn't talk about the Spirit much, right? Where Wesleyans, I think
yes,
talk about it quite a bit.
Yes.
So I suppose those are the distinctions that keep them in the
yeah, absolutely,
in the movement.
Absolutely. I think
I clearly took that in a direction you weren't intending to go.
I was not expecting that. No, that's fine. I mean, it's half your podcast.
It is half my podcast.
I think anytime we think that the solution to our sin is trying harder,
yeah,
or we put our hope or our trust in our efforts, whatever those might be, that it is a form of a Pelagian mindset.
Yeah.
That says, okay, I'm struggling with sin, ABC or whatever, and so my solution is I need to do these things or put these structures in place, and I'm going to trust in those in order to overcome that sin. Rather than saying, my hope and trust is in the power of the Spirit at work in my life through the gospel, mediated through the Word and through others. And those things, those structures, those activities may be helpful at some level in containing or eliminating temptations or opportunities. That's not going to fix it. Mm-hmm. That the transformation needs to be first and foremost at the heart level by the Spirit, and that from that outward behavior activity flows. And so I think anytime we as Christians fall into that trap, it is a form, a very soft, maybe semi-Pelagian form of
quasi-Pelagian.
Yes, there you go. Yes, all sorts of new vocabulary on the podcast today.
We could coin quasi-Pelagian.
We could. All right. Anything else you want to add on Pelagius?
I don't think so. Where would you rank him? Like we kind of talked about Arius being sort of the top dog of heretics. Pelagius got to be near he's got to be near the top.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think he might be. I mean, what's different here is it's not about the point of heresy is not about who God is and who Jesus is.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
It's the nature of salvation. Mm-hmm. It's how is it that we are saved. Now, ultimately, that does connect to, well, then what is it that Jesus did for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like Pelagius is out there saying, oh, Jesus is not God. He's not saying that. The heresy is on the salvation end of things, of like, how does that work? What is our need for it? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
So anyway, all right, enough monkery for today, and enough quasi-Pelagianism.
I love the quasi-Pelagian is a wholly new category, not a word used previously.
Yes,
that we're aware of.
We're here to break new ground.
We're innovating the English language.
That's right. Time now for This Day in Sports History.
All right, This Day in Sports History, November the 18th, 2025, coming down to the end of 2025.
Have you started any Christmas shopping yet? Because we're just over a month away.
My wife does the vast majority of the Christmas shopping for us.
Yeah.
So does my wife purchasing Christmas gifts, even if I don't know what they are?
No, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Not for this conversation.
I have not started.
No, because my wife's gone crazy, and she's well ahead of the game, but I have not acquired anything. I mean, basically, I only buy gifts for my wife. Like that's my whole responsibility.
And we don't really do gifts between Andrea and I. Like we just don't do them.
Okay.
Or we'll do something small, or a gift card, or something like that. Anyway, November 18th, 2025, This Day in Sports History.
Yes.
1949, NL batting leader at 342, Jackie Robinson wins NL MVP.
Yeah, there were a ton of these baseball postseason awards on this day, so I tried to be selective.
Well, Shohei Ohtani just won yesterday, I think.
The Cy Young or MVP?
NL MVP.
Okay.
And Aaron Judge was AL MVP.
Okay.
1982, South Korean boxer Doo-Koo Kim dies from injuries sustained during a 14-round beating by Ray Mancini, I think. Mancini in Vegas. WCC shortens title bouts to 12 rounds. WEA and WBO follow in 88 and IBF in 89.
Lots of alphabet soup there.
Yeah, I assume all boxing leagues.
So you went Duke Koo Kim. I might have gone Duck Koo Kim.
Might be Duck Koo Kim.
It's D-U-K. So who knows? But
we're good on the Koo Kim.
I think we're good there. Yeah.
Okay. 1987, Cubs. Andre Dawson is the first player from the last place club to win an MVP.
It's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I think I don't remember obviously what his stats were at that point, but for that to happen today, you would have to have someone who just had a freakishly unusual statistical year that so far outpaced everybody else, even from a good team, that you're like, how do you, it'd be like Shohei being on a last place team, but he's out there, let's say he wins.
He was on the Angels.
Right, but wins 20 games in the season and hits, 320 and hits 50 home runs and steals 50 bases. Like something like that where you're like.
I feel like Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout maybe 7 or 8 years ago would have been in this category. I can't remember if he won an MVP or not, though.
I don't know.
1997, the Mavericks' AC Green ties Randy Smith's NBA record for 906 consecutive game played.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen anymore.
No, he did not believe in load management there for sure.
Yeah. 2006, eventual Heisman Trophy winner Troy Smith threw for 316 yards and 4 touchdowns to lead Ohio State number 1 over number 2 Michigan 42-39 in the game of the century at Ohio Stadium.
I remember that game very well.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, we have a picture memorializing it on our basement wall.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
2018, 21-year-old German Alexander Zverev. How do you pronounce that? Zverev breaks through for a maiden season-ending World Tour final tennis title upset win in London over 5-time champion Novak Djokovic.
Beat the Joker.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you like out of this? I know you're not going to go with the South Korean boxer, and you're not going to go with the German tennis player.
No, probably not.
So that leaves us with Jackie Robinson, Andre Dawson, AC Green, or Troy Smith.
I'm partial to Jackie Robinson.
Okay.
Who are you partial to here?
Well, you know who I'm partial to.
You're probably partial to Troy Smith.
Yeah. But we went with Eddie George. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
So
we have not lacked for some Ohio State love on the podcast. Okay. So if you want to go with Jackie Robinson, we can do that.
Yeah, let's go Jackie.
Jackie Robinson.
342 is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. It is. One thing you liked.
Why don't you go first so I can think of one?
Okay. So in the realm of nerddom here, so I received my copy of the UBS 6th edition Greek New Testament. So this is something that's been long anticipated coming out, a new critical edition of the Greek New Testament. The UBS, United Bible Societies, does a version that's their 6th edition. It's going to be the same text as the Nestle Aland 29th edition of the Greek text.
Really?
So the text is exactly the same.
Oh, that's great.
But what's interesting is that some places in the text are updated based on new manuscript discoveries, so finding better manuscripts and maybe changing their minds about what the original wording of the text was. And to me, maybe the most fascinating thing that they did is they went back to an older ordering of the books. So our traditional New Testaments in English, 4 Gospels, Acts, Pauline epistles, Hebrews, then the general epistles, and then Revelation. But the more ancient order that's more consistent across the manuscripts is Gospels, Acts, general epistles, starting with James, then going to Paul, and then in the middle of Paul, after his letters to the churches, Hebrews, and then the pastoral epistles, and then Revelation. So they changed the ordering of the books based on that's the more common ordering in the earliest manuscripts.
Interesting.
Yeah, that will not end up translating over into English Bibles anytime soon. I can't imagine that. It'd be too disruptive.
Yeah.
So yeah, nerding out a little bit on that, arriving finally. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. What about you?
I had one, and then I lost it, and I'm trying to find it again.
You were looking on your phone for something.
I was.
What were you looking at?
Let me see if I can.
I mean, it would be a historic moment if we had a week where you didn't have anything you liked.
Yeah. I can come up with something. It's in the future, but I know I'm going to enjoy it.
Okay.
We have our alumni night coming up at the Grace basketball game. We, as it currently stands, we have about 165 alumni signed up to come.
So is that next Wednesday?
It's next Wednesday.
So when this drops, it'll be like
the next day.
Tomorrow night, next day. Yeah.
So we have 165 signed up, including a former Grace president who has signed up to be there.
Interesting. Okay.
So
very nice.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
All right. And that is our one thing we liked. All right, John, we have talked about the Jets. We have talked about Pelagius and monkery and quasi-Pelagian views.
Quasi-Pelagianism.
We have talked about Jackie Robinson. We have talked about the upcoming alumni night at the Grace men's basketball game. And we've talked about the UBS 6th edition reader's version. And so, by definition, we have covered our various and sundry topics. And so all that's left to say is, until next time, the Lord bless y'all real good.
Later.